guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Honda Civic Si.
And huge thanks to Joe at Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Joe.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Si has been a sport trim for the Honda Civic since the third generation back in 1984. Originally for the European and Japanese market, that vehicle came equipped with a dual overhead cam 4-cylinder which cranked out a healthy 118 horsepower. Unfortunately for the US and Canadian market, we got a single overhead cam 4-cylinder which only cranked out 91. Fast forward to 2022, the 8th generation Civic Si that you see here was released, sitting in the 11th generation Civic platform. For 2023, the Civic Si comes equipped with a 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder which cranks out 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 6-speed manual, and sending the power to the front wheels with a helical limited slip differential, basically unchanged from 2022, with a very competitive base price, a little over 28,000 bucks. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So I apologize for the location. The sun is directly over top this vehicle, so there may be a couple shadows, a little bit of glare, but hopefully you can pick up the LED daytime running strip, full LED headlamps for the high and low beam, no fog light down below, but I'm kind of liking that the design looks pretty aggressive. Ton of airflow for the intercooler and radiator right up top. Si badge on the right side of the grille. The blue metallic paint color is also beautiful. I'll leave a link right here, show you exactly the name of this paint color. We'll take a step back. Hopefully you can get one last look at the front styling. The wheel and tire setup, really impressive. Similar rims to what we get on the sport trim that we just reviewed on this channel. But overall, I'm liking the V spokes. These are 18-inch rims wrapped in Goodyear Eagle Sport all-season tires. Dimensions being 235/40 R18s. No plastic cladding, very clean look. Blacked out mirrors, no LED turn signal on the mirrors, but the glass fills up the entire frame, and we get blind spot monitoring. All black trim for the window trim, smart access for the driver and the front passenger. I like that little side skirt for the rocker panel area too. The window sticker, we can take a quick look at everything that comes equipped on this 2023 Civic Si with the Adrian blue metallic and the black and red interior. The base price a tick over 28,000 bucks. You guys can pause, take a look at all the standard features. We get 3 drive modes, normal, sport, and individual. McPherson struts up front and rear multi-link out rear. Hill start assist too, that's nice for a manual transmission. We get a leather steering wheel, premium Bose audio system with 12 speakers, 9-inch color touchscreen, wireless, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. After about an $1,100 destination charge, total price sitting a tick over 29,000 bucks. We get over 30 mpg, so for a vehicle that can do 0 to 60 in the low to mid 6-second range, really good fuel economy. Out rear, the gas cap is push to open with easy fill. You could throw 87 octane fuel in here, but as you see, 91 octane is recommended for the 1.5 liter turbo. Same rear wheel and tire setup, the only difference is a smaller brake caliper. I'll take a step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the side profile. It's typical Civic sedan. There are some styling elements that are more aggressive, like the spoiler, but very subtle differences. Full LEDs for the taillights, except for the turn signals. Those are halogen LED reverse lights. Shout out Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. Chrome Civic Honda badge, red interior for the Si, but it's chrome on the outside just like the other badges. Dual exhaust tips. We'll take a squat back here, and speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 1.5 liter turbo and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder sold by Honda for the 2023 Civic Si. It sounds pretty good for what it is, making a healthy amount of power at 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 6-speed manual transmission with a limited slip differential, sending power to the front wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 if you're really quick shifting the gears. In the mid to high 6-second range, if you're like absurdly quick shifting the gears, maybe you can get it under 6.5. But what you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right up. We don't get hydraulic struts. I'm using my arm for the prop rod, but there we go. Take one more step back and get a good look at the front styling. As far as the interior, let's take a step over here to the side and check it out. Again, we get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Up top, hard plastic unfortunately, but has a good grain material. We'll turn these lights to auto so it's not beeping at me. Piano black beneath that, hard plastic for the center portion, and some red and black contrasted cloth for the center. Pretty soft, very soft. Cloth padded armrest, auto one touch up front, power windows out rear, 4-way adjustable mirrors. We have our tailgate release on the side, speaker, 12 speaker Bose. This sound system sounds really good. Impressive amount of storage. You'll fit a 16-ounce water bottle and maybe a foot long if you can squeeze it in this tight spot. No nameplate stepping inside. The seats are really comfortable and very supportive. Nice sporty buckets with a black cloth outside with the red and black contrasted cloth inside. They're not power seats, but you can still recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats all with latches. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So 6-speed manual, foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, engine start stop button right here to the side, and everything fires right to life. But first thing we notice is the steering wheel. It is leather wrapped with really nice 10-2 bolstering notch, red contrast stitching. The horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, not very aggressive, but people should still be getting out of your way. Skip, volume controls, home for this infotainment cluster, and you get voice commands. On the right side, we have our radar cruise control and active steering to the right side, and we get the rest of the cruise control settings right up top. The infotainment adjustments, as we mentioned, we're currently looking at turbo gauge. We have navigation. We don't get navigation on the SI, but if it came equipped, you get turn by turn, but clicking on navigation, all we get is a compass. Press this home button to return back where we were. Driver attention, throttle and brake. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at what we get there. So we have a turbo boost gauge, throttle input, steering input, it looks like, and braking input. My foot's currently on the brake, so you see 3 dots. We'll press it a little bit harder. Wow, cool. Okay, so the PSI is actually for the brake pedal boost, so I guess it goes up to about like 20. But anyway, we can return home. That's actually a pretty cool screen to look at all times. G meter, stopwatch, seat belts, maintenance, safety support, no content, customized display, warnings, range and fuel, speed and time, audio, phone, and a turbo gauge. The turbo gauge is probably my favorite to look at all times, so we will leave it there. We have about a 6,500 RPM tach, digital speedo in the center, and 160 mile an hour speedometer. Fuel range beneath that. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our interior brightness, 360 sensing for the Honda Sensing. You turn off the traction control, get a good look at your aluminum outline sport pedals, tilt and telescoping steering wheel, padded dashboard. So I kind of wish they gave us a hard plastic dashboard, but padding for the upper part of the door panel, because this is where we're going to be touching much more frequently if you have your arm out the window or just want to rest it on this area. It's a hard plastic, whereas the dashboard, which will probably never be touched, is soft. 9-inch touchscreen. We have buttons to go home and to just return to the previous screen. Volume adjustments have a satisfying resistance. Skip controls. You can press this home button, see everything that's available. All apps, phone, FM, audio. Press all apps, see what we get. Cool. We can just scroll right through. We can press this back button. It returns us right back to where we were. Trip computer, Sirius XM, USB, general settings, vehicle settings, compass, Honda Link, clock, shortcuts, all that. My personal favorite would probably be to just look at the trip computer at all times with the range and average fuel economy with trip A and trip B beneath. Really cool style air vents with a red outline. We only get that for the SI. They're adjustable with these stocks, which have very good resistance, feels very high quality. Automatic climate control. It's just a single zone auto climate, but it's still nice to get auto climate. If you don't like auto climate, the adjustments for the vents right here in the center. 2 USB-A ports, 12 volt right next to it, good spot for a radar detector. No wireless charging pad on the SI, it's not a standard feature. Drive mode select, as we mentioned, we get normal, sport, and individual. We'll start the review off in sport. This is a sporty vehicle, so I'm sure sport will be the most fun. It also has a little bit of fake induction noise too. Listen to this. Hear that? Yeah, so that's not a real noise. It's not an active exhaust, but in normal mode. Yeah, it's a little bit quieter. Hopefully you can pick that up on camera. We'll leave it in sport. As we mentioned, auto start stop, we can disable behind that. Electronic parking brake with brake hold. 6-speed manual transmission. Backup camera, take a quick look. Foot on the clutch. There we go. And backup camera. Guidance lines and trajectory. We have 3 different views. 1 view, 2 views, and an over-the-top view if you're in the city and you want to maximize your space in front of the car. Behind you, throw this thing right back into neutral. It returns us to the home screen. Electronic parking brake, as we mentioned, we get this faux carbon plastic trim outside the gear selector, leather wrapping for the gear selector or shifter, whatever you like to call it. 2 cup holders. You'll fit 16-ounce water bottles, maybe 20s with these pushy things to keep your drinks in place. Get a good look at the key fob for the Civic Si. Pretty basic, but does the job. Padded cloth armrest with red contrast stitching. The space, we can take a quick look. It's pretty deep. I'd expect you to fit a 2-liter bottle of soda in there. You're probably just going to fit 1, but still pretty impressive to be able to fit that in a Civic. The glove box, pull this latch. It is damped, not lined with felt, but it's very large. You're fitting 25, 30 license plates in there with no problem. Very practical interior for the Civic. We don't get an auto-dimming rear view mirror, but we're cost-cutting wherever we can to keep this base price under 29,000 bucks. You can dim the mirror by pulling this flappy thing, interior light LED. The mirror, as you see, is lit, not with an LED, but still functional. We can take a quick look at the sunroof, slide it open, press this button, it opens up automatically, and the roof goes into the roof itself, so it's not just sticking out like a sore thumb. Opens out really far. It's already past the front seat. See if it goes any further. It does not, but it doesn't need to. We can poke our way out of here. Beautiful day in Port Richey, Florida today. It's sunny and 65 degrees, according to this 2023 Civic Si. We can close this moonroof right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you can see how much light is brought into the cabin. We'll allow the interior lights to be on so we can see what the lights are out rear. But that's about it for the front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So up top, it was hard plastic up front, so to be expected, it's hard plastic out rear, hard plastic for the center portion too. But we still get a padded cloth armrest, power window, decent storage, and additional 2 speakers with a 12-speaker Bose sound system. The seats are pretty well bolstered for a back seat, but this area is not padded, so it's not a very couch-like seat. The legroom still looks impressive. We'll unbuckle the seatbelt so I can sit a little bit more comfortably. And I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have a pretty decent amount of space. I feel like the hatchback we just reviewed is a little bit more spacious, but I still have 2-3 inches of legroom, about 1 inch for my head, no rear air vents, and we get a hump, which is weird because I don't believe there's an all-wheel drive option for the Civic, so I'm not quite sure what the hump is for. We get a map pocket behind the passenger seat, nothing behind the driver. The center cubby, you can pull it out. It's pretty easy to pull out, soft cloth, 2 cup holders. This one's bigger than that one. You'll fit a 12 ounce and a 16 ounce. In here, the interior light is LED. Cool. That's about it for the back seat, guys. Pretty spacious, not quite as spacious as the hatch, but I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall and can fit back there with no problem. Out rear, for the trunk, underneath the Honda badge, you can press this button and the trunk opens right up. It gets a little bit of a hydraulic boost, but it's not an electric tailgate, of course, and be careful loading things up because it will crush your cargo, anything higher than that. The wheel well cutouts are solid. You may be able to fit a golf bag horizontally. Pretty deep trunk too. You're not gonna fit a golf bag vertically, but horizontally is cool. You'll fit it diagonally for sure. You can fold the rear seats down with those 2 latches, and you fold the rear seats down, I'd expect you to fit up to a 60-inch TV back here. That's a really wide opening for the rear seat cutouts. So very impressive use of space. We'll see if there's any secret storage down here underneath the floor mat. Probably just a spare tire. Nope, just fixed flat kit. Cool, but you can fit some secret stuff right there in that cubby, and it'll be out of everyone's way. We can shut this trunk right up, take one more quick walk around of this 2023 Honda Civic Si. It's a nice looking vehicle, and with this blue metallic paint color, it really brings the body lines and the aggressive redesigned styling for this 2023 Civic, especially with that rear lip spoiler. But that's about it for the inside and outside of the 2023 Civic Si. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2023 Honda Civic Si. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. But the first thing I noticed, the clutch is very easy to use. It doesn't really take that much gas pedal to get this thing moving, which is nice. There's not that much low end torque, but the tuning with the gas pedal, Honda's known for having really good gas pedal tuning, which makes the vehicles feel stronger than they really are. But this thing's pretty strong. We got over 200 horsepower. As soon as we get the chance, we'll take a step out here, try a little acceleration, go about a third of the way. Red light, so we can't go a whole lot further, but yeah, the turbo takes a second to really kick in. We'll take a step out here. Once we get the chance, lean into it a little bit more. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we'll lean into it a little bit harder. First gear. Woo! Wow, okay, it can get up and go. It's not gonna blow you away in terms of speed, but it does get up and go pretty well. Third gear. That induction noise, it's not real. All right, we can try a real world turning radius right here. The steering feels pretty good in sport. The turning radius is sharp. Second gear on the gas. Not bad. Yeah, so for the rev match downshift, you don't get that same faux induction noise, but that's not a big deal. Once you're moving at speed, you hear a tiny bit of wind noise, but nothing unbearable. Third gear. Feels pretty good. Throwing it in
way faster than we should. Ooh, the body roll's limited. Second gear. Whoa. Guys, you look down, you're going pretty quick. This thing can get up and go. Third gear. All right, guys, we can try a second gear pull on the gas. That third gear, that's the money gear. You can do a really nice pull. You look down, you're going a lot quicker than you think you are. And the steering, I'm telling you, in sport, it feels good. The shifter feels good. You can clearly feel what gear you're going into. Hopefully you can hear those rev match downshifts on camera. They're not quite as loud as the accelerations. All right, guys, just regular daily driving. I'm not gonna hammer it. We got a little bit of traffic. Yeah, it's easy to go pretty slow. Pretty quiet. You hear a tiny bit of wind noise, very limited road noise. The tires do a great job limiting it. Good low end torque with this turbo. Try it out in 6th gear. Going 50 miles per hour on the highway. We're turning 2,000 RPM. So if you're going like 75, 80, I would expect you to be at like 3, if not higher. So it does sacrifice a little bit of highway fuel economy. I think the 6th gear could be a little bit taller. I don't think the 6th gear is really a drive gear. I'm pretty sure it's a overdrive gear anyway. I'm pretty sure 1-to-1 is either 4th, maybe 5th. So 6th gear could be a little bit taller. You would get a little bit better fuel economy because 50 miles an hour turning 2,100, that's a little bit high. But to maintain speed, about 3rd throttle, it picks up speed in 6th gear with no problem. You can pass cars on the highway in 6th gear. The steering feels good, really good. I'm really impressed with the way the steering feels in sport. In normal mode, it feels a little bit light, but that's the whole point of normal mode. So when you're driving in daily driving conditions, it's a little bit easier. Bump. The sport tune suspension is still extremely comfortable. You turn around right here. Rev match downshifts. Nice. As soon as we get the chance to try out another turning radius and an acceleration in 1st gear, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, 1st gear, we'll try one out after we make this U-turn. Pretty sharp turning radius. 1st gear on the gas. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, you look down, you're going a lot quicker than you think you are. 3rd gear pulls really hard. Right here, we can throw it in a little quicker than we should. That time it didn't automatically rev match. I had to do that on myself, but not really a big deal. Oh, the handling is so good in this thing. A little bit of understeer. Ooh, the bump. So the mid bump, you feel a little bit of hop if you're on the gas mid corner. But I guess if you're just doing daily driving conditions, this thing is great. But overall, guys, you're looking for a daily drivable sports car, this is a great way to go. It feels so good in normal mode, sport mode. Right here, we got some more twisties. The steering feels so good in sport mode. We'll try it out in normal mode too. I promised you guys that I would try it out in normal mode. So in normal mode, the steering immediately gets a lot lighter. We'll throw it into 2nd gear. Try a pull so you can hear the engine noise out. We'll throw it in 1st gear. Can we even throw it in? Yep, we can. Cool. Okay. I don't want to. There we go. On the gas. You got a little 2nd gear chirp, but as you see, it just doesn't have that same engine noise as it does in sport here. That's normal. That's sport. Oh, that was a big bump. All right, guys, one more time. 2nd gear on the gas. Wow. The brakes feel good too. We got some chickens crossing the road. I guess I'll let them do their thing. Hopefully they'll let me pass. Thank you, chicken. Appreciate it. Torque in 2nd gear, but 3rd gear, I'm telling you. Take this car for a drive. You'll see what I mean by 3rd gear being the money gear. Not in the low RPMs, of course, but high RPMs. Makes this car feel a little bit quicker than this. Probably because 2nd gear only goes out to about 50, which keeps us in the power band even in 3rd. But this isn't a naturally aspirated engine. So turbocharged engines generally don't feel nearly as strong up top, but the way Honda's done it with their VTEC system, it still pulls up top. And unlike the CR-V we just reviewed in this channel, it doesn't have that mid-range fall off. It continues to pull from 2 all the way to 6,500 RPM. Very impressive turbocharged engine. I know a lot of people wish there was more power, but for the power that this thing makes, it feels really good, guys. Overall, you're looking for a daily drivable sports car. You want good backseat space, and you don't want to pay over 30,000 bucks. This is a great way to go. For the sub $30,000 base price point, you get a lot of features here. The steering feels great. We get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless, 9-inch touchscreen, 12-speaker Bose. I was really not expecting for the 12-speaker Bose to be standard on the Civic Si, but that's a huge feature above what you would get from just a regular Civic Sport. So all in all, you're looking for a daily drivable sports car. You want the manual. You don't need 1,000,000 horsepower. I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Honda Civic Si. If you don't want the manual, you can check out the Acura Integra. Same platform, feels very similar, but personally, I think the 6-speed manual is the way to go. And if you want to save a couple $1,000 versus the Integra, you don't need all those luxury goodies. You're more than happy just having a nice sporty platform. This is the one for you. And a big thanks to Joe and Steve at Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Clearwater, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Joe or Steve. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.